Yesterday's Minecraft Live and update announcement got a lot of hate, with some people claiming that it's just a retextured version of an existing biome, and some people claiming that it's another version of Minecraft just adding free features and calling it a day. Although if that was true, why don't we have one in the game yet? Although it's funny, someone remade this for 1.22, and as much as I love the idea of calling the creaking Phil, it is worth mentioning that there are lots of big details about the show that many people miss to go for their blind hatred, and today I wanted to go through some of the community's biggest reactions to this update, but also the developers themselves directly responded and answered some of the very biggest questions you might have had. And so today I'll go through some of the biggest things you missed about Minecraft Live, and some of these are kind of silly, such as the villagers when they're talking about monsters. One of them holds up a picture of Steve, but some of these are very serious, and so let's talk about it all today. Hello, I'm OBXToyCat, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest and most informative Minecraft news. But let's start with the most important thing. What is this update going to be called? I've been calling it 1.22 and getting a lot of hate comments saying, no, the Pale Garden isn't in 1.22, and this is something that many other YouTubers have explicitly doubled down on, such as here is Zuma Void, I think is the biggest one, saying 1.22 is not the Pale Garden and creaking, and the biggest justification for this is that this is a drop, not an update. That is true. Minecraft has switched from doing updates as the way to brand their new content to doing drops. However, here's Ryan Cooper, a Minecraft employee, saying drops are updates to Minecraft and will vary in size. Our goal is to frequently update Minecraft multiple times a year. We know the community wants more, and this was them explicitly saying that drops are updates, and the only thing you could disagree with here is that, well, actually, you might find he's just a Minecraft employee who has no idea, but nope, this is the head of Minecraft at Mojang, and even more interestingly, the article that was written where they said that they were renaming updates to drops, where they said that they would still be doing bigger, feature plans for the future, this was written by Ryan Cooper. So if there is someone who knows about the future of Minecraft, it's the guy who wrote the article, and so that means that I think it's more likely, not guaranteed, that they'll still be calling updates 1.22, 1.23, etc. It's just they're calling them drops for the sake of making sure that people don't compare them with 1.21 and 1.20. Those were big game updates, whereas these are going to be smaller game drops. That isn't to say it's a guarantee that this isn't 1.22, but I would say I'm leaning much more in 1.22's direction than 1.20, 1.40. Even when they did a split update, they literally took 1.17 and split it in two. They didn't call it 1.17 and 1.17.5. They called it 1.17 and 1.18, and that is why I would say, without drastic change and proof to the contrary, you should assume this is 1.22 until the snapshot, preview, and beta cycle starts, which it is going to fairly soon, and in it they can perhaps address the biggest real criticisms I saw. One of them came from the YouTuber DocM77, who said that it's a different approach of the new mob. The actual target is the heart. There I feel, though, the gameplay loop breaks. After you get the heart, what then? Aside from having it and spawning wood guys again, what do you get from defeating it? There's no reason to repeatedly kill these guys, and so what's the reason in them existing whatsoever is a good question. And unlike most criticisms, it actually seems to be one that Mojang could foreseeably fix and make the Pale Garden better. By the way, not a Pale Garden, Mojang, it's clearly a Pale Forest. Why is every other wooded biome in the game called a forest but not this one? Is there going to be something unique and gardenish about this? Are we finally getting lavender? Does that mean we can have one as well? But more seriously, I think it is worth saying that this is something Mojang will hopefully address during the snapshot process, but also something important is this comment from Mr. Cat, who says, the creaking is such a cool, unique mob. I just wish the biome looked better though. Giving it uniquely shaped trees and more height variation and even some extra fog would sell the mood 100 times better. I think that's 100% true. There are lots of tiny adjustments they should make to this biome, and the biggest one is not making it feel like just a corrupted roof forest. I mean, that is unless they choose to make it a more varied biome, because one of the biggest problems Minecraft has when introducing new biomes is they have to split up existing ones. The Cherry Grove isn't a new biome, it's just a subset of the meadow. The Bamboo Forest isn't a new biome, it's a subset of the jungle. And so what if instead of just taking part of the Dark Oak Forest, which is already kind of rare, they took a small part of the Birch Forest, then a small part of the Tiger biome, and they managed to make these three biomes all have a slightly corrupted version. That would be super cool, right? And in that case, them looking identical to an existing biome would make a lot of sense. And so that is my theory I'm going to hold on to with basically no evidence. But if we're going off most of the posts that hate this update so far, you don't need to use facts when you can just use feelings to make your argument, and so that's what I'm going to do as well. And so yeah, then I decided to look, see if any other YouTubers had interesting takes on this update. I looked into DanCDM because he was featured in the pre-show, and his last tweet was, what happened to YouTubers, man? It didn't seem to be relevant to the Minecraft update, but we do have this one from Simply Sark, someone who I do find very interesting to follow. He says, okay, so now we have a fire elemental, water elemental, wind elemental, and earth elemental. I definitely don't think that's a coincidence, and I've got to say, the water elemental is a real stretch, but you've got to admit, this is basically an earth elemental, right? It spawns from a particular biome that is only natural. It's a very weird weird mob that can't normally be killed, so it's that sort of semi-boss but not really sort of thing that the Breeze has going on too. And so maybe Minecraft is deliberately putting a bunch of elementals of different types into the game. Maybe that builds into some whole new mechanic or boss or dimension or whatever, but that's a point for another time. We'll stop diving down the speculation angle to instead talk about something which is really interesting about this biome, because outside of how people feel about its appearance, it seems to be more negative than positive. That seems to be the one biggest point that people come up to. I think a lot of people don't realize just how cool it is to have a new white type of wood. One of the things which is absolutely elite in my opinion is how great these new pale wood variants look. They showed us most of them in the trailer, but if you didn't see, here is what a pale trapdoor looks like. Okay, that's pretty cool, but the pale door especially, I love these new blocks. I think they look incredible, and if you don't, then I think it has to be said that this is Mojang's proof that they can work all year long on some incredibly cool major feature like the Warden, and people work out how to cheese it in one day, or they can work literally just, a few minutes here and there working on some real big quality of life feature, and people attach to it and will love it and will use it for years to come. And so white wood might end up being the standout feature of this update, despite it having one of the coolest lore drops and elemental drops in there ever, but such is the name of the game, I guess. I think that the easiest thing to add to the game are cute mobs that do next to nothing and new building blocks, because they're very hard to argue against, but also they aren't the most lovable features, whereas the features that end up being the most interesting and creating the most unique gameplay are the ones where lots of people go, oh, I actually don't really love that, and that's why I think the Pale Forest is actually genius. When I first heard about the Pale Garden, I was very worried about it, and the same is true for Nicholas Seidmont here, who says, when I watched Minecraft Live, I was so relieved that the Pale Garden was going to be harmless during the day. I didn't want to spawn in one and immediately get killed. This is really great in my opinion that they're adding a new biome to the game that has this innate danger at night that is specific to the biome, because it gives you something else to watch out for, and again, some more core memories for when you do accidentally get stuck in there just as it turns sunset. I think that one of my big, if I am to level a criticism against Mojang here, I think that a lot of the last biomes they've been adding to the overworld have kind of just been, yeah, here is a place you can go for new blocks. What else can you do there? Well, I mean, the new blocks are enough, aren't they? And they are enough on the surface, but they don't add to the world of Minecraft. In my opinion, the most significant biome is the mushroom one, because when you go there, you find a whole new mob, you find a whole new block which can do weird things, no mobs spawn, and it has all these cool properties, and it feels as though the Pale Garden is going to give us some of that beauty in that you can take the blocks out of the Pale Garden, everyone is loving these new white blocks, but also you can bring some new blocks in, and they specifically said that the biome would have this kind of like deadening of the colors that you would exist inside of it, and that is so fun in my opinion. Add to that the fact that it's probably going to be a very hard biome to level, because there's going to be so many creaking hearts here, and then you've got yourself a recipe for a fun project. That is much more significant than saying, oh look, it's a cherry grove, I'll chop down the trees and then I'll have lots of cherry trees. When you level a Pale Garden, I guess as it's called, when you level a Pale Garden, you're going to end up with all of this wood, but also a place to build where things will just be a little unique. Is it a good place to put your museum? Is it a good place to put, a particularly scary place like a prison, These are the fun things that add to your Minecraft world when the biomes actually have presence, not just in the blocks, but in the behavior itself, and that is the genius of this update. Speaking of update, by the way, I've been making fun of the Pale Garden this entire time, but we actually do have a developer response to this, so fun fact, this is Smokey Stack's tweet saying that he also doesn't like the idea of the Pale Garden. It's not very fitting because it should have flowers and some ponds, and Wailing Woods would be a more fitting name in his opinion, but then he realized Fortnite has already used that name. But then Alexander Torstling, who is a Minecraft developer, says, hey, maybe the creaking makes these kind of gardens and now you're hurting their feelings, and this is a very good point. Maybe from the creaking's perspective, this is what a garden should look like. I think you could probably make some argument that, yeah, well, all of the hanging moss makes it more garden than any other biome, and indeed it's going to be a very dense biome in that way, but I still don't think it would feel like a garden. If anyone has a convincing argument as to why it is a garden and why not, I would love to hear it, but even after hearing Minecraft say it, after hearing a Minecraft developer defend it, I don't really love it, and admittedly that is sort of a joke. Speaking of a joke, did you know the Minecraft leaks were real? Well, obviously you did if you watched the show. It's really funny to go back and watch those videos with the hindsight of actually knowing it, which is exactly where Nembomb was, because at 4 AM on the day of Minecraft Minecraft Live, so about 12 hours early, he actually confirmed the leaks were not fake, but he just said people make stuff up on what they think the rest will be, and that is also wrong, and it's amusing to observe. And honestly, that's what I kind of enjoy about teasers from Minecraft. These teasers weren't officially condoned by Minecraft, but I hope that if they are working out their marketing plan for the next Minecraft Live, happening in the first half of 2025, by the way, I hope that they actually do consider doing more fun things like the Please Speculate board, or doing more fun like little reveals throughout the week, because I think a lot of people are missing the mob vote, and oftentimes there has been this big question about what's replacing the mob vote in the future of Minecraft development. They said they're going to replace it with something, and so what is that going to be? In my opinion, you need to have that PR wave throughout the week of something to give people to think about, speculate about, hope for, etc. But also I think it would be cool if we did have some little say over the update, if they could actually use our speculation to improve the ideas of some features, just like they do with snapshots. In fact, maybe they're doing that right now with the reaction to Minecraft Live. And by the way, at Minecraft Live, they didn't just talk about 1.22. That's the biggest thing we've been talking about, but they also spoke about the update which is coming out between now and 1.22. I've seen so many people misunderstand this and assume, oh yeah, it's one update. There's bundles, there's hardcore, and then there's the creaking. No, there's going to be an update coming out October 22nd. We can say this with 95% certainty because that's when the PlayStation 5 native version is dropping, or 1.20, 1.40, which is the update which currently has bundles and hardcore in. So we can say with 95% certainty that's the day it's coming out, and we can say that that is going to be a drop, and then that smaller drop is going to be a sub update of 1.21, and then after that smaller drop comes out, there's going to be a bigger drop, which is going to be presumably 1.22, unless there are three sizes of drop, and 1.20, 1.50 is going to be a medium-sized one, but we're going to really leave that aside for now and just say there are two updates, but in between those updates, they showed off the Minecraft movie, and I've seen a fair few people come around and say, honestly, after hearing the team explain their thoughts behind part of the Minecraft movie and the extended scene from it, it makes me think we might have jumped the gun, and indeed, that I want to say that I do disagree with people who say we should have hired Element Animations to animate the movie. It would have made Minecraft more blocky style. I would have hated to watch a 90-minute Elements Animation movie, even though I'm not gonna say I like the idea of watching the Minecraft movie. There is going to be a lot more to it. Again, as someone who liked Villager News, who really thought it was a fun segment, and we'll come back to the Easter eggs in a second, I just wanted to say though, I hated their justification for why they were making the crafting recipes so dumb. Even a Minecraft employee, Mark Watson here, made a joke about the fact that, well, if you think you know more about this than a guy who's been crafting for a long time, here's how you make 2 buckets and a chain. And it's just so ridiculous that they do it in the movie, right? But their justification made me roll my eyes so hard.
The game came out, there wasn't a recipe book, and people were like, wait, what happens if I put these things like that?
That's not how Minecraft worked. Before they added the recipe book, it wasn't that you could craft any combination of things together, you had to know exactly what you could craft. When people criticize the fact that they're making up fake recipes on a very fake crafting table, they're criticizing the fact that it's nothing like the base game, and you justifying it by saying, well, there didn't used to be recipes, is also wrong, and just, I really hate fake authenticity. I hate when people have to go through a great deal of effort to be like, look, we're exactly like one of you. Hello, fellow kids. Look, I understand the Minecraft too. I wish that at some point you could say, yeah, we brought in people who do really care about this movie and about this universe, and we try our best to understand it. But nope, that's not going to sell as well as saying, look, this is exactly like Minecraft. The fact that they're doing things that aren't like the base game, it's like modding it. I am not impressed by the Minecraft movie, and I hate to admit, I'm probably still going to watch it. I don't like Warner Brothers handling of it. I don't like the look of it so far, but it's going to be a spectacle, and I pray that it's going to be a good one for Mojang, but I'm a little bit cynical anyway. Speaking of being cynical, let's go into the last segment today, because I wanted to share with you some fun things you might have missed in Minecraft Live yesterday, besides their weird claims of how the movie is actually really authentic and basically Minecraft, because it's not Minecraft. That's what authentically Minecraft is, right? I actually think a much better version of authentic Minecraft is when Minecraft themselves did this live and had all sorts of cute references in there, such as this moment when they opened a fridge in the background and it sounded like this.
The Minecraft game trailer was made by the community.
They actually used lots of these fun references when they were showing things off, such as the photocopier they were trying to fix. I also like the self-awareness when in the Villager News segment they said this.
Hey, wait. Does anyone feel like we're being watched? I hope so. We need the ratings.
Given that this was, of course, a brand new format for Minecraft Live, and it did get fewer views than in previous years because of the lack of mob vote, there's a little bit of self-referentialness there, but what I really loved more than anything else was this moment.
Of course we know there's no such thing. What about zombies? Skeletons?
And then there's a bit of unintelligible mumbling, but then this guy shows this picture, and I think this is absolutely hilarious that, yeah, if villagers were a sentient being like they're depicted here, they would find Steve to be horrific. He is not just a zombie or a skeleton who wants to kill them, he wants to enslave them and make them have children in confined conditions. He is the monster. He is a German man from 1939, and you should watch out for him. I think this is a really funny little reference here, but also I think it's important, as well as the light-hearted little references here, the creeper in the bathroom and the chest and lava sounds for the recycling bin. What I really love beyond any of these small details is the fact that they specifically listen to the audience in so many ways as they try to show during the show. One of the craziest examples of this is Vu Boo not doing his usual over-the-top presenter voice, but instead just kind of talking to the camera casually. 1342, we've taken our time to assemble an incredible team.
We've taken our time to assemble an incredible team and to create an original, fun-filled take on the Minecraft universe.
The thing I love most of all, though, was the most honest take they've ever had regarding the Minecraft community, if you can call it that, because they kind of admitted something which is true. A lot of people, they tried to talk about, like, this is what Minecraft fans want, but they kind of addressed that, yeah, when they're making content, it's really hard because
The truth is that you, our community, have been doing this since the beginning. Every player has their own story to tell and their own take on what Minecraft is.
I've never agreed with what Jeb said more. This is such a true point, and why it's so hard for them to make a universally approved Minecraft movie, but similarly, it's why whenever they release a Minecraft update into the world, there's some number of people who go, I don't like this, or I hate this, or I vehemently think this is the worst thing they've ever done. It's literally a game getting free updates after all these years, and that doesn't mean we don't have a right to complain. It just means that I think it's inevitable at this point that there's going to be some number of people who hate anything they can put out into the world, and so next time you find yourself saying, man, this update just isn't very good, you've got to remind yourself it's not very good to you. Some number of players are really excited about the horror direction they're taking, so many players are excited about the white wood and where that's going to take them, and honestly, personally, I'm just excited about the new drop system because it means that content is going to take much less time, and more crucially, it means that although this first Minecraft Live felt weird, mostly because it wasn't very live, honestly, Minecraft pre-recorded would be a better name for it, but I think that the truth is this one felt very weird, but in 6 months when we're getting another Minecraft Live, it might start to feel like a much better rhythm. It's hard to say for sure, of course, till they've gone through it and we have a couple of solid drops behind us, but I'm incredibly excited. But I also have to admit that whenever I talk about update on the internet, there's one big question that comes up more than anything else: when is it coming out? And obviously it's very early days, but I wanted to give you the most direct response we got from Minecraft at the live that you might have missed because it was so early on. They said this.
And now it's time to reveal our completely new drop, releasing in a few months.
That's right, it's just a few months away now. And to be fair, a few months could mean anything from 2 months to as much as like 8 if you wanted to argue. But also, playing it means it could just be snapshots and previews. But yeah, in the very soon-to-be future, we'll be able to play this update and then we'll be able to judge it for ourselves. And then you can have your criticisms about how the biomes look or the woods or the mob. But that is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this slightly deeper dive into what's going on with the Minecraft update. And if you did, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. I cover Minecraft news in the most unbiased and fairest way that I can, and hopefully you enjoy the insights that we provide here, because tomorrow is going to be an even deeper dive into the Minecraft lives of the past, the Minecons if you will, and the update reveals we used to get before it was a yearly show, because now it's transformed so much. It used to look so different and so much rawer, and was that better? Well, let's dive into that tomorrow. For now though, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!